Hey, good morning, everybody. Let's go. We strong talking this morning. I told y'all I was back. We have circulated over to Instagram. We'll repost the video a little bit later. Listen, want to jump on here really quick this morning just to give you a bit of encouragement. Y'all know that we're celebrating a woman this month, right? So, hey, Elder, we're celebrating a woman this month, and I have something that I want to drop. You got to remember, sometimes you have to remember who you are, right? So there's so many things in this world that really will make you forget. Situations, circumstances will literally make you forget who you are. So I jumped on here just to remind you, hey sis, hey bro, listen, I want y'all to share it. I'll share it later on Facebook. Y'all help aunties and them that don't have Instagram yet, that's over there on Facebook and need some assistance. They done reached out and said, you done came over to Instagram. I don't know nothing about that. So y'all help them. Y'all help them so they can get on. Listen, as a woman, even thinking back over my life, as a woman, we go through so many things. In general, we go through so many things that it's very easy to forget the things that you have already overcome. Look, my phone's going off already. To forget the things that you've already overcome. But I have to remind you this morning that you can't forget what you've already literally overcome, right? So it's important because during this time, during this dispensation, look at my phone going off. During this time, during this dispensation, you have to remember so that you can keep your mind, right? Thank you, sis. You have to remember so that you can keep your mind. When you start to think about all the things that are in front of you, all the things that are ahead of you, all the things that are literally on your back, it's easy for you to forget. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I am saying it. Remember. Remember that he's never failed you. Remember what he's brought you from. Remember what he's brought you through. And I think about relationships, right? You know, women, one of our greatest joys, and sometimes our greatest hindrances literally is our love, right? We will love to no end. We will love to the end of ourselves with our children. We will go hard on our job. This is something, hey bro, this is something that the woman specifically does. To a fault sometimes. In relationships, we will give our all to the point where we lose ourselves. And that's a dangerous space to be in. And I remember when I got married, you know how you get all these different recommendations and, you know, when you do this and do that. And I remember going on, I felt like let me just do me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll figure it out. I don't really want no advice. You know, I just going to be me and him and we going to figure it out, right? So it was all these different things that people were saying. But one of the things I remember looking, you know, on the other end of things, one of the things that I remember is, you know, one of the older women saying, don't lose yourself. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Well, when you start being a mother, being a wife, just doing what we normally do on a regular basis, it's very easy for you to lose yourself. When it comes to these kids, and y'all know, we will do anything for our children. We will, even before we do anything for ourselves. And that could be a very dangerous place if you don't get balance with it, to the point where you look up, you like, oh my God, I don't get my hair done no more. I've knocked that off because the child got soccer. You know what I mean? Or, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the baby's hair done, but I'm not going to get my hair done. All the while, you're trying to navigate these different responsibilities. You're trying to navigate, you know, these different things in life to the point where you forget. It's so easy where you forget. And before you know it, you look up and you like, I done gained 100 pounds. Like, I look a hot mess. Have you ever sat back and looked at yourself from today and about like maybe 10 years ago? And yes, you know, maybe you were single, maybe you didn't have as many kids, you know, different things happen in life. But there are times when you look back and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember that me. And I've had an episode of that maybe about 6 months ago. I was like, oh my gosh, did I do that? So many different things that I forgot that I had done. Different jobs, like monumental jobs that I had to go through series and series of roundtable interviews and, just different things that I did in my life that I forgot because I let life overwhelm me, overtake me, and I didn't even know it was happening. It just kind of slipped in at some point in time. But I'm reminded during this month, I call it the month of the woman, and we look at women in our history, women that have done monumental things, that you cannot forget the wonderful things that you have done. And you have to remember who you are so you can snap back and have a sense of something for yourself. It's nothing wrong with helping these children, loving your husband, whatever it is that you have to do. But it is an absolutely must for your sanity, literally, for you to take the time to do something for yourself. You got to do something. You got to put a balance on. I just told a good girlfriend of mine not too long ago, every time I call you on the phone, your hair's all over your head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the phone with you because I'm tired of having this conversation. And she was like, oh my God, there you go. No, you think that you're doing something because your kids look great and you look a hot mess. Now, I am reminded coming up, and my sister Maria's on here, that it was a literal disrespect for your kids to be walking around raggedy and you looking all great. Well, it's a disrespect. Let me add this on to what the mothers told us. It's a disrespect for your children to look amazing and you walking around here looking a hot mess. And then you're wondering why. I said, this is what strong talk. You're wondering why that man don't want you. You wonder why that man don't want to come home. You wonder why you're not married. Because and let me add this. I have to add this because I was told that you have to have a sense of love for yourself. You have, when I tell you, you got to be able to encourage yourself before you get into anything, because you just never know. When you're trying to merge two people together, you're going to have a fight. I promise you're going to have a fight. You cannot depend on the other party to make you feel like a woman. You cannot depend on the other party to make you feel like a man. Yes, they should do their part, but you have to have something down in the foundation of your heart and your mind that you know who you are. This strong talk is just sometimes you just got to remember. You got to know who you are because it's very easy to forget. It profits people of God who God used in a word. I remember the Lord told me, you're going to prophesy homes to people that you'll never be able to walk in. They won't even like you enough to invite you to the home that God used you, gave you a word to tell it. They won't even invite you to their home. And it's okay. What I'm saying is know who you are, even when you got to give a word. If you got to give a word, if God deals with you in prayer, if God gives you a dream, sometimes you just have to release it and let it go. If it came from God, it's going to come to pass. It may not look like it in the moment. I promise you. And sometimes, and some of you on here where God would deal with you in dreams, visions, whatever, some stuff you don't even want to say. You say to yourself, when God tell you to say it, like, I can't say that. They going to think I'm crazy. They probably will. But if it's God, it will come to pass. And you have to be rested and I don't know why I went there this morning. You got to be rested and reassured in that. You have to be so sure in God. You have to be so sure on the foundations of your faith that you are literally in a place where you're just like, God, whatever you say, I'm going to do. God, I'm taking this word of encouragement this morning that maybe I need to stop for a second, take a good look at myself and get myself together. In the medical field, y'all know I'm going to drop something medical. Y'all know that's my thing. I'm a nurse. In the medical field, we often see these mothers, these men that come to us and they start feeling bad, and we do their lab work and now they have diabetes, high blood pressure, stuff like that. These type of chronic diseases and things happen oftentimes. A percentage of it is because you have literally lost yourself. Yes, some of it comes from heredity, but a lot of it comes from I'm not stopping, I'm not focusing. I'm on a run all the time, because you making this money, you got this big old house. Are you doing this? These kids need this. These kids need that. My family need this. My family need that. But what about you? How can you be anything to your family or anyone else? I posted something on my stories about it for those who have read it. How can you be anything to anyone else if you're tearing your own self down? I've never, in church, we like to buck at my church. We like to praise God. There's nothing wrong with it. And I began to look around and, we're on TikTok and stuff like that. And, sometimes we look at the comments and stuff like that. And I remember this one comment that came across one of our live streams. Said, oh, they must all be on the same diet. It would be easy to be offended by that. But pretty much it's saying it's a lot of big people, right? I said, the first portion of yourself want to say, oh, let me research you, let me go off, right? We're not doing that. Sometimes things are said. It's a little bit of truth. It came from a place. And I begin to say, you know what? Key, you done gained this. And what has happened from this to this? Because things happen. Life happens. Situations happen. Babies come. Loss of job. Things happen. But you got to stay grounded. And I said, you know what? I got to get this weight off of me. So thank you, whoever that was that wanted to crack slick, because you helped me. And, I'm not even offended by those that are around me that didn't tell me. Because, it's easy to be offended. You see me every day. You ain't say I mumble at work. It's easy because, when people see you, they're kind of going through the journey with you. Some of them, they're like, oh, I didn't know this, because they're around you all the time. But those who may have known you from before and are seeing you now, sometimes you got to take a little bit of criticism so you can get to where you need to be or back to where you need to go. You know what I'm talking about. So you got to remember, I want us this week. This is what I want us to do this week. I want us to take a few moments. And I want us to remember, 1, where God has brought us from. I want us to remember, 2, where you lost yourself at. I want us to remember, 3, that you're worthy of time. You're worthy of a moment of satisfaction. You're worthy of a pedicure, a manicure. I want you to take this. I want to snap you. Back into it takes. All we have to do sometimes is to really budget ourselves. We in this diaspora, sometimes our people, we don't do well. We just kind of go on a whim and we just take the time, plan it, and care for, just do what? You don't got to go crazy. And when I tell you, God will literally give you strategies to be able to get what you need. You may be saying, people losing their job. I don't know where money's going to come from. I don't have this. Some of you have what you need right in your vicinity. You got your sister coming up. We ain't have it like that. I promise you we didn't. But guess what? Me and my sisters, we figure out how to do each other's hair. We figured it out. There's Lee press-on nails. Your nails look a hot mess. You don't look well groomed. Do you know that your children are watching you? Beyond the facade of things, we talked about that briefly beyond the facade of things, your children are watching how you manage life. And they literally will formulate how they manage life by watching you. Literally. Bro, I love you. I love you. See, my brother's pretty much saying that when he get a wife, he gonna make sure she's straight. That's nice. That is great. I recommend it. It will be lovely. In partnership and marriage, I promise you, it's so many things. That's for a whole nother strong talk that I could talk about in regards to that, about looking out for one another. Oh, I'm going to go here for a brief second because we're talking about women. Sometimes we don't understand as men all that a woman does. Sometimes I want to smack whoever said, we want to come out from this, and that. We going to get jobs. That's wonderful. And yes, that's a wonderful thing. We are doctorate. We're running businesses as women. We're doing so many things. We missed it somewhere. Because sometimes men forget. I'm working 40 hours like you working 40 hours. But the expectation is that I'm still going to wash clothes, cook, clean, take care of you, give you what you need. Everybody. On top of the 40-hour job that we both had. Baby, it takes partnership. I don't have a problem. Maria, you know how we were raised. I don't have a problem with taking care of my home. But every now and then, man, can y'all do this for me this week? Like my brother said, every now and then, can you consider your wife? Can you consider your sister? Can you consider the single mom, the single cousin that you know? And you can look at her and see she's burnt out. Can you go over there and keep them kids for 2 seconds? Can we do that this month? Can we do that this month? Can we think of... Because we on here, we trying to get ourselves together. We're trying to remember. As we remember. Bro, and I already know this is something that you do. My brother, Jay, he's such a wonderful person. Whoever gets him, they're gonna be happy. Whoever he finds. If you find a wife, find a good thing. They're going to be okay. But a lot of these men out here, brother, they need your help. They need your guidance. They have no idea. They have no literal clue. Do you realize, men, I'm going to drop this, and Maria's probably going, she's going to get me. Let me give you a little secret, man. If you take real good care of that woman, in most cases, because everything's not 100%, in most cases, they will give you the world. They will give you the world. And it's the little things. It's the little things, babe. Here, I'm a sticky bad person. Here's $100. Go get your feet and your nails done. And let me tell you something, man. That's not even enough. But it's the thought. Hey, I noticed that you always go to Starbucks every morning. That's me. I got you a Starbucks gift card. Hey, babe, you know what? I know you had a long day. We've been chatting all day. We've been texting all day. I order pizza. Because some of these men can't cook. It's fine. I order pizza. You come in. I ran your bath water. You come in. You get in that bath. Don't you worry about these kids. Don't you worry about cooking. You relax. Hey, babe, I know you in school. So this is what I want to do. I want to have a conversation with you. Ask you, what do you need for me to help you during this journey? This is called partnership. This is called looking out longevity. And yes, in women, we could do the same thing to the men. It's not one-sided. But can we? We need this. Some of the things we got to remember, people. Some of the things we have gotten away from. It's so easy. We are in a generation that is very selfish. Very, very. And it's easy to get wrapped up in it. But us of the faith, us that believe, can we? I love that. He said, it's good weather. Can we go for a walk? And so basically, brother, what you trying to say is, I noticed you put a little weight on you. Let's do it together. But that's a nice way to say it. I'm going to do it with you. Because it's also all about how you say things. Do you know that, and I've learned this in leadership, I've learned this even through Strong Talks. Y'all know me, right? A lot of you know me personally. Y'all know I'm not a vicious person, but I'm a very direct person. I learned that on my job. But they say, you just say stuff. But I don't say it from a vicious place, you understand? I say it so that you are aware. As your friend, as your sister, some of y'all call me auntie, I'm telling you something to help you. Do you know I will get in trouble with God just treating you any kind of way? And I may not be scared of you, but I am afraid of God. I have godly fear. So at the end of the day, yeah, okay. So this week, everyone, like, comment, and share. You'll get the repost. But listen, I want y'all to remember. Remember who you are. Remember the things that I shared this morning. And guess what? All out of love. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week.